Hello everyone and welcome to the 16th installment of the Turf Battles New Client Development Diary. So today we want to show off the mage rework that we talked about in a couple previous videos ago. We spent the last 2 weeks or so just kind of testing and adjusting the changes that we did make. So the way that this video is actually going to work is I'm going to show off some of the stuff that we have been working on, talk a little bit about the mage rework, and then we've actually prepared a couple different PvP clips between red mages and blue mages versus other classes, just so you guys can see how the changes have been going and how they currently are. For the most part, they do seem okay, but I'll talk more about that closer to the point where we're going to show those videos. Okay, so there's been quite a few bug fixes. We noticed as soon as we started PvPing with the mage system rework that there were some issues with doing damage. Some things were being taken into account. For example, advanced skill damage wasn't being multiplied by a percentage. So what that means is things like Ice Fury and Deadly Count, they weren't applying the proper damage. They were just doing it based off the person's AP rather than the person's AP in addition to their own damage multiplier. So that was fixed. We also fixed a couple other issues with buffs. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that just because there were a variety of bugs that were fixed and I don't want to bore you guys. But something that we did rework was the fame system that was re-implemented into this client. I'm not 100% sure if East Lad is a no fame zone or a no fame loss zone, but for the purposes of this video, it currently is. But basically, I'm just going to show off that our names do change color when we're attacked. So in this situation, I attacked Shock Dot, and that was a hostile action, so my name did turn green. It's going to turn back to normal. I think it was blue before this. Any second now. Any second now. There we go. Now, if I was to kill Shock Dot, then my name or my fame would actually go lower. So if I type stats right now, if I open my chat window, I currently have a fame percentage of 64%. When I kill him, my name will get a lighter shade of blue, going into white, and then eventually red, as well that percentage will go down. And actually he has infinite health right now, so give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. There we go. So now he died. If I type in stats, I now have a much lower fame percentage, it's 37%. This is in the current version of Turf Battles. I'm just showing that it is working. And as soon as my name changes away from green, it should be a lighter version of blue or white, or maybe even red. Actually, not red quite yet, because red's only when you get to negatives. But yeah, it just turned a lot lower. Similarly, if Shock Dot was the one to attack me, then I would see his name as green. So I'm just going to teleport to myself. Okay. So now Shock Dot's going to attack me and my name will turn green. Or his name will turn green. Which it just did. Now, if I was to kill him while it's green, I would not get penalized for that because I'm the one that attacked him. Or Shock Dot's the one that attacked him. See, my name color didn't change at all. And just to check, my stats also didn't change. Now, if you do reach negative fame, there are some penalties for that. They're listed, I believe, in the help menu somewhere. Right here. So yeah, right here you can be PK'd without penalty. The higher fame you do have, the more AP you get, and different bonuses. We should probably list them more clearly here, so I might make that change later. Okay, and just to show you guys, I'll go ahead and pause the video and set my name to a negative color. And that's my name with the worst kind of fame I could have. For some, oh, it's not slash fame, it's slash stats, which is negative 100%. Now, if you don't know, the only way to increase your fame is to kill monsters. I'm not exactly sure how many monsters you do have to kill. I don't even think these apply. I think they have to be monsters within your level. So killing these might not even do anything, but we'll try it really quick. Yeah, so I'm going to lower my level so I can do this. One sec. Okay, so I've gone ahead and lowered my level so I'm around their level, and I've also increased my AP drastically so we can just one-hit all these. And as soon as I typed in stats after killing a few, we can see that my fame did go up. So again, the only way to get your fame back up is to kill monsters. If you don't want a red name and you don't want to get penalized, and you want to keep benefiting from the buffs of having a blue name, then you're just not gonna have to PK people that are trying to level up. Okay, so we're gonna go into the mage rework system now. So we did make the changes that we listed in the earlier videos. Just to quickly summarize, we changed Black Touch to only work for blue mages. It doesn't work for red mages anymore. So meaning if Black Touch is applied, then red mages won't gain a benefit from hitting a target that has Black Touch. Another change that we made to both red and blue mages is that their support skills now require less of that support stat. The reason we did this was because one of the changes that we made was making it so equipment requires blue and red, depending on your class, rather than all magic stats. If we didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to use the full set plus the support stat uh, tree, the support tree. So we fixed that by lowering it. I believe they're roughly about the same requirements between red mages and blue mages, but if not, they're right here. So in this case, the black stat, it requires 100 for paralyze, 200 for attack debuff, 300 for weaken, 400 for black touch, and 500 for black shield. They increment in the same amounts for red mages as well, although I don't think that they start at the same amounts. I think they start at 150. But yeah, so we made that change as well. As well with that, we've made it so that the AP values that are gained from those stats no longer have a diminishing return value because after that point, there's actually no purpose in going even higher. So they all give about the same amount now. I'm just going to pause the video so I can pull up those exact values for you guys. Okay, so the diminishing return values for red mages actually didn't change. For the yellow stat, of course it did. It no longer has that diminishing return value. It's always going to give, I believe it's 1.3 AP per stat. But for blue mages, because of the mage rework and the changes, they now receive 1 AP per blue instead of 1.5, and now they receive 0.8 per black instead of 1.2. And of course, neither class receives anything from having white magic if you do choose to go the white magic route. But that brings us to our next topic. We did disable and remove all the white mage buffs in the last live server update. That change has been ported over onto this server. They can no longer be purchased at the NPCs on this client. And if you do have any leftover items, they can't be used. When this change goes live, those items will be removed from your character, and instead you'll be given a replacement item to kind of compensate you for that. So if you do want that, just keep it in your warehouse, and it'll automatically happen once you log in for the first time on the new client. Okay, so I'm just looking over our notes here for the mage changes. The other primary change that we made, and this was something that players were kind of hesitant on seeing happen, was the change in magic defense from jewelry. We tried it out with a couple different value variations. We did lower it. Our initial thought was to lower it to match the defensive value, which was 3 per stat on rings. We actually increased it from that into 4 per stat per ring, and we even tried 5. We think 5 was too high, 3 was too low, 4 was right in the middle, and it worked out nicely in most cases, as you'll see in the videos. So right now, each of these rings that has magic defense on it, each stat will give 4. So if we take it off, and actually I need to increase my level so you can see the effects. One sec. Okay, so yeah, so each magic defense stat will give you 4 magic defense, and that's on the percentage sign. So this ring has 8 magic defense, 8 times 4 is 32, so we should end up with 68, and we did. So 168, that's our magic defense percent reduction, and that's what was expected. Before we get into the video, I did just want to bring up that throughout the video I did notice that the blue mage seems to be in a little bit of an overpowered state. I think that's in part still because black touch is so high for them, but also because the addition of this new transformation skill that lowers magic defense even further. So when combining that with black touch, it's a deadly combination. But also the speed that Ice Crystal shoots at, and just the over stacking of Ice Driver, which is something that we aren't changing. But I think they will need to have some kind of reduction, whether it's lowering Black Touch a bit, which right now is, I believe, taking 12% of your magic plus a flat damage reduction. It's pretty much nullifying, I think, your Guardian Protection. So we're not sure what we're going to do with that yet, but we demonstrated the current state, and you guys can give us your feedback on what you think, but it most likely will just be an adjustment to Black Touch, just so that monsters aren't affected. I actually realized that I forgot to mention a couple things in the video, so I just wanted to edit it and put this in there for you guys. But really quick, the stats that the rings are now giving, I just want to mention they aren't exactly final. They're what we're putting in right now and what we think seems fair. Based off of player feedback, when the server does go live, if players note that it's still too low, or even high, although I don't think it's too high, they are still subject to change. For example, I know one suggestion was given by one player where maybe we lower the amount of magic defense they give in the initial levels, but make the reward higher in the higher levels. That's a viable option. We didn't do it yet just because we want to see what players think about this change, but that is an option. Similarly, though, this change is happening. Magic for rings and bands is being lowered from what it currently is, and that does mean that you will have to have equipment that has M defense increased, not just near or on the safe level of that item. I just wanted to make an emphasis on that point because between now and the release of this version officially, there might be 1, 2, or maybe even 3 months. We don't know. It all depends how the testing goes. But me telling you guys this change is happening, prepare for it. That gives you that time to start working, if you haven't already, on your magic defense and increasing that stat to where it needs to be. Leaving a magic stat at 12 while you increase your defense to 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever it is, it doesn't make sense logically for any game, and that is part of the reason why this change happened. So yeah, in the videos we do play around with the stats that are used for the equipment, ranging from having 17 magic defense or 16 magic defense, 15 magic defense, going as low as 13, 12. We've done testing throughout all those. We've even tested with G11 equipment at the level 160 bracket, so that's something we'll also show off. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that is something that you should be working on if you haven't. And that's your opportunity, if you haven't already done it, is now. Um, Another note I just want to make is that the characters that were used in the making of these videos, at least for the G13s, not the G11s, are actual characters on the live server. We changed their names and removed their tribes just to hide their identities, but we wanted to use realistic equipment when testing, so we've been testing, and these videos were recorded with actual characters, with actual gear that players have. Um, yeah, so that's it. I'll go back to the original video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the videos now. Enjoy the PvP. We'll be back in 2 weeks to do the last video before the client is released, and in that video we'll kind of go over what to expect from the test server and kind of the scenario that we'll be testing with. So yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks.